Hello there. I'm going to show you how I made these and where I got the idea. A friend of mine got this package and she gave it to me. And look at it. Isn't that adorable? And it's a little bit smaller than this, of course. But I had this punch, so I thought, and I wanted them a little bit bigger. I think I am going to trace around this too because I do like that small size too. And I do have some wee little words. So I'm going to do that and make some this size and make some this size. But I wanted to show you, it's easy for me to show you on this size how to put these together and how to make sure that your circles or your punches on either side are the same in the same spot. So first you gotta punch these out. And this is just a Cheerios box. So that's what I'm using. Okay. So there, we've got 3 of them. That's perfect. All right, and what you do is you stamp your words. And I've just got thinking of you, which is very generic. You can use that for just about anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you want to make them another color, then what I would do is I would punch these out and then I would punch decorative paper out and just the same size and then just glue it on and then punch your holes. All right, so how you line the holes up is like this. I've got this 1/8 of an inch punch. So what you do is you punch one on one side, you look at it and you go, all right, that looks about perfect place right there. Then you take the next one and you use this as a pattern and then you line it up and you punch it out. And then you use the next one and you use this as a pattern and punch it out. Now we've got it all on the right hand side, so now we need to turn them around to the other side. So I'm going to take this one and turn it upside down because I need a hole right there. So I'm going to use this hole because it's lined up in the same exact spot, and that makes them evenly spaced. And then I can use this one to continue punching the holes, and it's very easy to slide the little tip right into the hole. And when you get it in there right, then you just punch it. Very simple. Isn't that a neat idea? Alrighty. So now I want to make one of these. Come on. There. All right. That is such a cute little size. Alrighty, so doing it this size, then I'll have to trace around this and then cut it out. So let's go ahead and do that. And now I'll have this size pattern also, which is perfect size for my little itty bitty punches, or stamps rather. So now I just cut that one out. And just go sure and steady, nice and slow. And that's the trick that I found for me, is if you don't want the ragged edges, you just start at your point and then just slowly turn. And then keep cutting. Keep going around until you get to the other side, and there we go. Now we've got that pattern. All right, and then we can do the same thing. I can use this pattern to punch the hole, or I'll just go ahead and punch the hole. There. You can do it that way to make it into a little tag, or you can put a hole on both sides. So now if I trace around this, and it's funny because each time you trace around, it'll get a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. So you need to put pattern on this, on your first one. Put P for pattern. P for pattern. That way you have that pattern. Alrighty. And then you can trace around it. And then save your first one that you make for your pattern. And then they will all be the same size. All right. if you notice, I'm moving this, not my scissors. I've got this arm down on the table. And sometimes I'll move the scissors a little bit, but I'm trying to just move with my left hand to get all the way around. And then if there's a little, this one does have 2 little tips, so you can just go ahead and snip those little tips off. There. Voila. And now I can go ahead and use this and see how much bigger this one is when you line it up. Actually, if I turn it over, you'll see. See how much of a border you've got around it? Isn't that funny? But it does actually leave a little border, so it will be a little bit bigger. So whatever piece you start with, you want to keep doing it. So if you want them all to be this size, then keep using this one for a pattern. So, and I'm going to put a P on this so I remember this is my pattern. All right, there. So now I can go ahead and I can lay this on here, and I can punch out the hole, and then I can turn it around the other way, and I can punch out the hole there. Now I can put this one on the bottom, and this one, let's see, I need to turn it over this way. Alrighty, there we go. There's our little pattern, and there's our little word sign. So now I just have to pull out a little tiny word to fit on there. So, alrighty. And then what to do with these? You can do all kinds of stuff with these. You can put these, I'm going to use them on cards, of course, because that's what I use most of mine for. Almost everything that I make is for the cards for the senior center. And again, I'm saving this. So, but these are going to be made into birthday cards because they all say party time, celebrate, happy birthday. And if you put one hole on them, you can just put a little string on them and let them hang. With these, I think I'm going to wait until I actually make a card, because then you can take string and you can do this with it. You can either put a bow on either side, make it be a tag on each side with just a little bow, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke it through. Come on. Oops, other way, Barb. There, and then bring it up through the back side of this one. And now you've got a slider tag. So you can put this on your card and it can actually slide back and forth, so you can maneuver it where you want it. You can take a card front and you can attach it to the front. And then you can make your decision where you want it to be. And you can either leave it to slide back and forth, because that might be kind of fun for the recipient to do, or you can go ahead and put a 3D foam on the back, or just glue it. And that's what I'm going to do with mine. So either string or ribbon, whichever one you prefer. You can also take just a ribbon, and let's see, where's another ribbon? Well, that one's kind of thick, but I think this will work. Let me trim this down. It's kind of uneven anyways. So in order to use it, I'm going to have to even it out. So let me adjust this. There. All right, so if I were going to use this with it, which is actually the perfect size, then I would go ahead and I would fold this over and fold it over again and stick it in the hole. And then pull it through to the other side. Fold it over and fold it over again, and then stick it through. And then you can open up the side. And this is probably how I'll use mine. Because then, doesn't it look like a little piece of candy? I think that's fun. And then you can just use a 3D dot and glue it down and glue it in place on your card. I think that's pretty cool. So you can either leave it frayed like this, or I think I'm going to go ahead and fishtail it like that. That looks even more candy-like, doesn't it? There. Perfect. Alrighty, and that's probably how I'm going to end up using mine, because it gives it some nice texture. Alrighty, so look at your embellishments. Look through your wood veneers and see what you've got. See if you've got anything that you can trace around, and trace them up. Make some more embellishments, because look at, I've got 6 of these already, 7, once I stamp something on there. And it takes minutes, just minutes. And you'll get a few little embellishments that you can use on your cards. You could go ahead and put the ribbons through and then just leave them as is until you're ready to use them. Or you can wait until it's time and then put a matching ribbon on. So I hope you like this idea and you'll give it a try. And until we meet again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.